Uh, Hello and warm welcome to all the attendees. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I am Ajay Dalvi, the solution architect at Godrej Infotech, truly elated to receive the participation of all of you, esteemed representatives from different parts of the world. Introducing ourselves in brief, we are the technology team from Godrej Infotech. Now, Godrej Infotech has been the IT solution provider since almost 25 years, and needless to say that our journey so far has been a remarkable one. In the field of technology and IT solutions, Godrej Infotech has truly been a global company catering to the needs of their customers across the globe. As I can see, there are a lot of people joining us from all over the world. All of us are connected right now just by a single click. This is the power of technology, and we are here to know about the amazing tool called Power BI. So, what is the superpower this Power BI gives you? Basically, this Power BI is a reporting that enables you to make elaborate, accurate, and immediate business reports. We call this as a business intelligence solution as it connects to the multiple data source, simplifies the data, and runs on ad hoc analysis to make and publish the comprehensive reports on web or any mobile device. You could find lot of webinars and product videos which are readily available on standard demo. We at Godrej Infotech will bring in the domain and industry experience to implement this solution on all prominent ERPs, empowered with pre-built analytics for ERPs, namely Infor and Microsoft. So having said that, I would like to introduce my colleague, Mr. Ujwal Bhandari, who will elaborate more on the key features of Power BI. Ujwal, could you please start? Hello, Ujwal.
Hello. Yeah, yeah, Ajay. Thank you so much for the introduction. Hope you can hear me.
It's audible.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Before we get started, just a brief disclaimer of the data sets that we'll be displaying. So, uh, coming to the guidelines of this presentation or webinar that we are going to have. This will be a 1 hour webinar, which will last till 3 p.m. And we hope to have a 45 minutes showcasing of the introduction and the offering that we have. And then the last 15 minutes will be reserved for question answers. If you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box along with your email IDs so that we can collate them at the end and answer them within that 15-minute range. If we are not able to do that, we'll be definitely replying it to you. And you can always come to us and contact us on our email ID, that is infotech@godrej.com. Okay. Let's cover the agenda for today. So we'll be discussing what is Power BI. We'll be introducing the product and defining some features of the product. We'll be discussing what Godrej has to offer, and we'll see a live demo of that product. And in the end, as we said, we'll be taking up the questions and answers. Now, you must have heard of the phrase that data is the new oil. Today, there is so much of data that is being created on a day-to-day basis. It is calculated that 90% of the data that was created in the last 2 years, uh, the last 2 years of data amounts to 90% of the total data that the world has. So as businesses are growing, that this data keeps on adding. However, we need to analyze this data. We need to collate this data to form data-driven business decisions. This is where Power BI plays an important role. To understand the impact that Power BI has, let us first know what kind of reach it has in the market. This is as of the Microsoft Business Summit of this year, wherein it was stated that 97% of the Fortune 500 companies use Power BI as their business intelligence tool. Now, this means that this is also because of it being a product or a package in the O365 suite, and everyone being so well versed with the Microsoft domain of products. So the reach of the product is very huge, and also it being a cost-effective one. Now, what is Power BI? Power BI is an analytical tool which allows you to connect to the data, whether it is an on-premise data or on-cloud data. It then allows you to transform this data and model it to create actionable insights out of this data. You can then consume these reports or visualizations in multiple forms. We'll be speaking more of that. Let's first concentrate on the data part of it, or the connection part of it. So we know that a business has multiple data being stored on a day-to-day basis, and those could be in multiple forms and multiple sources. For example, a business could have an ERP database which is stored in the Microsoft SQL database. It could have CRM or other satellite systems, which let's say is on MySQL. Then there are certain budgets or targets that are being prepared by the company on a yearly basis, which are stored in the form of Excel files. Now, Power BI allows you to connect and consolidate these data to meet your reporting needs. You can connect a simple flat file like a text or a CSV file, or you can connect to a complex multidimensional data, multidimensional cubes in this case. The number of connectors to the data sources is 125 plus, which is more than any BI tool is offering currently in the market. When we speak of the Power BI environment, there are several components that we need to consider. First of this component is the Power BI desktop tool, which is the development area where you connect your data, transform it, and prepare reports and visualizations out of it. Then these reports are published on the Power BI web service, wherein the users interact with these on the go. So as you can see on the screen, users can slice and dice the data as they are using this product. The next is the ways to consume these reports. The Microsoft has its own Power BI application on Android and Apple devices, or you can simply log in onto the Power BI web service using any regular browser. Or if need be, you can embed these reports on your blogs or websites for the use of stakeholders internally or externally. For example, Microsoft publishes such kind of reports on its investors section in their website, wherein they publish their annual reports, which the users can view, and these are Power BI embedded reports. You can have a look at it on the Microsoft's website. Then, as you can see, this is a glimpse of the Power BI mobile application, which allows users to collaborate, connect with their team members, and share insights or comments using simple annotations. The last component is the Power BI Gateway, which is an important tool that allows you to securely connect to the on-premise data, which is then fetched to the Power BI web service. So when there is an on-premise data and the reports are published on the Power BI site, The gateway plays an important role to securely and using authorizations to extract only the data that is required for reporting purpose. That's about the components that Power BI governs, and keeping this introduction or these components into picture, we'll come to our next topic. Now let us know what we as a company have developed on this environment. Usually there are multiple questions that we face for businesses on a day-to-day basis. These questions could be for management reporting. So the answers are derived from the data that the company has, and there could be multiple questions that arise, like what is these KPIs for the purpose of compliances, for the purpose of management reporting, or for meeting the statutory requirements, or could be for driving business decisions or mitigating risks, or could be on a day-to-day basis to monitor revenue and see avenues to grow the revenue and to grow the company. Such kind of questions could be very overwhelming when the amount of data and when such analytical tool is not available. BI definitely helps the business to finding these answers to these questions, and to do that, we have something that allows us to prepare a fundamental level analytical view of the data, which is built across various components. We'll talk about this a little more. And this covers about different levels of KPIs and reports, as you can see on the screen. Let's jump onto the product and speak a little bit more about what we have to show you over here under the live demo. So as you can see, these are various reports that are prepared under several components, and these reports are built on certain predefined ERPs like Infor LN ERP and Microsoft set of ERPs. Let's have a look at these, and we'll speak a little more detail about these after we see the live demo. When we look at revenue, what is important is whether how I fared against my targets or budgets, and how is the comparison across different products that I'm dealing with. I would want to see not only the revenue part of it, but also whether profit has been increased or not, or whether the I've been able to maintain the margin as comparison with the targets. So in this case, you can see on the screen that you have a simple report that allows you to see the actuals versus the budgeted revenue. On a basis of year-to-year comparisons, we can simply click on a specific year and get data related to that year. I can also click on a specific product group that I'm dealing with, and I can get the budgets and actuals figures only for that particular product. I can have a look at the budgeted quantities, the actual quantities that I've sold, the budgeted margins and the actual margins for defined periods or ranges that I want to see. Going further into such details, we would also need to compare something like indirect costs and COGS that are related to such sales on a year-on-year basis, so as to understand how I have performed in comparison with the previous years. So in this dashboard, you can see the similar picture where when year-on-year comparisons are available, and this allows users to immediately compare their performances as compared to the previous years. The previous one was comparison with budgets. Now we are comparing the actuals year on year. Here again, I can select for a specific product group and see that my dashboard changes for that product group itself. When we speak of sales, it is also important to track these sales performances across regions. Now, why do we want to see it across regions? Because there are sales managers who are authorized or who are given responsibility of a specific region to be taken care of. To understand how the India region has performed in this case, I'll just click on this map over here with the bubble which shows the size of the sale that has happened. And I can see the title as well as the report itself has changed to show me on the India region level of KPIs. I can see how I performed against the gross revenue and gross margin. I can see how I performed against indirect expenses and COGS in this case. Now this allows me to, the green and red indicators allow me to know whether I performed better or worse than my targets. At times there are simple KPIs that are required or simple reports that are required for management reporting purposes. And this kind of a report allows the management to know their product group wise sales being done and the costs that have been incurred, along with the calculating of indirect costs and the margin that has been earned out of it. So let's select for the specific year, in this case, let's say 2018. And I can see there are certain color codings available in this margin. So we have set up with if the margin is greater than 15%, then it is an ideal margin. If it is lower, then it should give me a red mark. And this way I would know for which product group or for which product line the margin has not been maintained well. So as to give me an idea of how the actuals have been performed in this case. When we are speaking of actuals, it is also important to compare it with the budgets. So as to know how was the actuals being done in comparison with the targets that were set for these product groups. So this level of information is required by the management on a quarterly or a monthly basis for analyzing how they are doing and to look into reasons. If a certain product is not doing well, they'll further drill into it and look into the reasons why it's not doing well and make appropriate decisions for it. When we speak of finance, it is also important that we speak of the usual reports of balance sheet and profit and loss. Now here it's prepared as per the format that is needed for IFRS reporting, and I can simply select any specific period, any specific year, and I can get the data for that period. And this is not like you have to go through certain records and find this information, collate this information and get it. This is directly connected to your ERP, and it is giving you the response within the click of a button. When you have to compare it between different periods, or when you have to just have a look at the data on an immediate basis. Similar view I have for the income statement or the profit and loss as well, which allows me easily to navigate and check into the details of this, the usual MIS reportings that we require. When in finance, it's important to also track the accounts receivables and accounts payables. The accounts receivables, we usually want to know when are these receipts, when will I be receiving these amounts, and if there is a delay, what is the reason of that delay, and how much was the delay, what was the composition of these accounts receivables, how is it performing as against the average outstanding target that I have set, and which are the major outstandings that are yet to be received. And if I want, I can go into detail level, invoice level details of obtaining what are these specific outstanding invoices. Over here, I have a simple slicer which allows me to navigate between my different companies, subsidiaries that I have. So I can simply click on Interior and I can see for that particular company what are the outstandings and how is it bifurcated in terms of aging buckets for which I've assigned certain risks like low, moderate, and high. I can navigate over here and click only on the red one to show an entire dashboard for the high risk zone, wherein the outstanding is more than 91 days. I can drill into a specific information that I want and see the list of all the invoices that I have. This can further then be sent to my business associates who will be looking into this data and who will be responding why this data is so. An important feature of Power BI over here, we'll just quickly go through that as well. I can have something called a subscribe, wherein I specify this Power BI web service that send me this report or send these specific persons these reports on a weekly basis on every Monday morning at 9 a.m. And I can save this as a subscribe trigger. So every morning at 9 a.m. Monday morning, I'll be getting a snapshot of this report on my email, which will tell me what was the status on a Monday morning. I can have the sales representatives who are responsible for specific regions to be given these reports, and they will only be viewing the data for their specific region only. With the help of data authorizations, we can manage which person can look at which kind of data. So in this case, sales representatives of India region will be viewing data for India region only. Another important is we talked about collaborating with individuals while making this reports. So I clicked on this red region and I say, let's add a comment over here. I want my colleague to look into this, and I want him to, I'll tag him and I'll say, check why the high risk zone is so high. And instantaneously, when he replies to this message, I can view his replies over here. This will go as a notification to the user who's using Power BI. So all in all, similar representation we have for accounts payable as well, wherein the risks associated with the accounts payables, if we have delayed for making payments to the vendors, then it comes up as an audit or a compliance for the purpose of compliance or auditing. It is required, and here we can get that information very instantaneously, and which can be reported wherever required. I can see how for accounts payables or accounts receivables. In case of accounts receivables, majorly my working capital is usually is blocked because of huge accounts receivables. So I have a certain target that is set, and I want to make sure that the average outstanding for the business for the vendor does not cross this target. I can see over here which are my major outstandings that are there for the top 5 vendors. I can also see which major ones I have to be paid domestically or internationally. I can see the composition of these accounts payables in case there's something like purchase invoices or debit notes assigned to it. Here again, we have the company level filters to slice this data for the specific company or to have a consolidated view. Then we'll come to sales. When we speak of sales, there are two aspects that we look into. One is the sales order related information and the sales invoicing related information. We talked about revenue, which was there in finance, but when we look to the area of sales, it is majorly sales invoicing and sales ordering. Sales ordering, when done, in the end, the result of sales invoicing is relevant for the purpose of a register or sales register to be created. This build sales report over here allows me to have that kind of view, wherein I can see for which business partner, for which sales representative has made how much sales for the specific periods that I select over here. And again, this is for company, consolidated or subsidiary. I can see a trend of the ordering, invoicing, and collection being done. I'll go further into the order-wise details, wherein I can have a look into the orders that were created, the invoicing against these orders, and the collection against these orders. So this at times becomes very difficult in case of an ERP to link all of these data in one page. So here I get what was the source, what was the order, who was the sales representative responsible, which department is making the sale, the order date, the order amount in case, and out of which how much has been invoiced in this period for the period or total up till now, and out of this how much is collected and how much is pending to be collected. So all in all, I get an overview of entire business being done from order to cash. For viewing the performances of various departments or for in terms of customers or sales representatives, we have the top 5 and top 10 performance related KPIs, wherein we can view which sales representative were making the most performances in this case, or which department was making the most sales. And against that, we can also see collections being done. Not just the invoicing, but also if the sales representative is being able to get the amount collected, or he's been able to get this collection out of the customer. I can have a look at the top 5 customers for the purpose of knowing which customers are leveraging my business, and I can focus more into these major customers. I can see which sources are giving me huge revenues in case of contracts or projects are making huge revenue contributions, or whether it is service or sales orders, so on and so forth. I can simply click on top 5 and see the top 5 results and top 5 and top 10 results over here, just with a click of a button. In sales, the sales order processing, the shipment, and then the invoicing process is a path that is usually followed. The pending invoicing dashboard tells me what invoices are yet to be, these shipments are done, but invoicing is yet to be made. So once the shipment is done, if the invoice is not made, it forms part of this dashboard over here, and it tells me how many days have been passed since the delivery, and yet the invoicing is not done. So if it is like more than 60, more than 31, 60 days, I'll be asking the respective salespersons to give me a clarification why the invoicing is not yet done, because this will in turn be impacting my revenue if there is any delay made by these salespersons. Next, we come to sales order related information. The ordering data over here allows me to give me an idea of the total open orders that I have currently, the status of these orders, and the status of these orders by virtue of their count, the quantity, and the amounts. So, and also the top business partners from which I'm ordering currently. I can have a look at the geographical map over here to give me an idea of how much local purchases and how much international purchases I'm doing. Again, we have this at consolidated and subsidiary level. which we can bifurcate. Now, I'll be more interested in the sales orders which are in process. So I can drill into this and see the details of these sales orders. I can have a line level information of these sales orders, and this will allow me to get an information of what are the different orders that I have and how I am faring against it. Okay, so coming to inventory now. When we are analyzing inventory, we would want to know how much amount of inventory I have in my warehouses right now, and how much of this is lying for a huge amount of time. So it in turn means it is a slow moving inventory or it is an obsolete inventory. And while looking into inventory, it is more important to also look at the value of the inventory. So just by clicking over here, I can analyze this and see that how much value-wise inventory that I have. In terms of aging, we have bifurcated these into several buckets, which will allow me to know that what is the current inventory, slow-moving inventory, and the aged or obsolete inventory that I have. In terms of quantity and value, I have these KPIs being given, and the top item groups that are lying in my warehouses. Again, over here, I'll be more interested to know why these are obsolete, and it is a huge amount for me. So I would click on the red bar over here in the donut, and this will allow me to see in which warehouses and which item groups these are lying. I can simply right click on specific warehouses and drill through and see the in-hand inventory details. The in-hand inventory details will give me the line level details of when it was received and so. But I'll not go much into that now. Also over here, it is allowing me to view this warehouse-wise locations where these items are there. So I can click on a specific item group and see where this specific item is lying. So I can see it is in Mumbai, and most of it is in a high risk zone, or you could say in an aged manner, and some amount of it is within the 60 to 180 days bracket. Now, all of this is test data, so we are not actually commenting on how it is there, but we can, as you can see, we can analyze this and make business decisions out of it. Coming to projects now. In a project environment or in a project business, what we look into majorly is the costs, the revenue, the performances of a project. And for a specific period selected, we can see what are the top 5 projects that we have and how much revenue we have generated out of it. In terms of area, how is it bifurcated? I can have a look at the periodic performance with comparison to what was planned to be expended and how much was actually expended, to have a look at the periodic performance. We can have a look at the top 5 projects wherein I've incurred most of the cost and compare it with the revenue that I've generated out of them. In this geographical map, I can see the current locations wherein my projects are going on. I can see it is in Mumbai and Dubai. That a major of the projects I can see of contract value are in the Dubai region. Over here, the size of this bubble indicates the size of the contract revenue. Other than the revenue, what we also analyze are certain KPIs for a project. So I can select my current ongoing projects and I can see how I have performed in terms of the cost performance index, the schedule performance index, variance at completion, the to be completed index. So these are some major KPIs that every business wants to view for their ongoing projects or their completed projects. This allows them to know how much in terms of value they have earned from this. Another important part while analyzing these performances are the costs and how we have incurred for equipments, labors, materials, or sundry costs for these projects. This line graph over here is a usual line chart which shows me the information of. Okay, I think someone has to mute themselves. Okay. Please keep yourselves mute. In case there is any questions, you can ask us in the chat box. So this project performance, we were talking about the line graph over here, which allows me to have a look at the earned value, planned value, and the actual cost of the project during the execution phase of the project, and how the accumulated value has been termed. I can have a look at the total revenue that I've generated from this project and how much is yet to be received from the customer. So not just the revenue, but the collection. If it is pending from the customer's end, I can look at this data and have a view of it. Also, rather than revenue, it is also important to control costs. And this report over here tells me about the costs that are being incurred in a project. These costs can be bifurcated in terms of the activities that are going on in a project. They can be bifurcated in terms of the materials that I have engaged in this project or the inventory that is going on in this project. Or it could be bifurcated in terms of the different costs that are incurred. It could be materials, sundry costs, subcontracting, some certain equipment costs or services, so on. So here I'm not only viewing at the actual cost, but also the comparison between budgets and actual, and how much of earned value I have, how much is the expected, how much is the actual revenue for this, and what is the committed value. Next, coming to purchase orders. Herein, we have a similar view like we had for sales orders, wherein we have an overview of the ongoing open purchase orders that we have. And in comparison, we can see which are the top ones and what is the different statuses of these purchase orders. And I can again drill through and see the details of the items that are purchased from this these different status of orders. Last, we'll come to the production order dashboard. Here we have a picturization wherein it allows me to plan my productions. So what do we need in a production order, a production dashboard? We will want to know what are my ongoing productions. We will want to have a look at what are the items that are required for making these productions happen. In order to also analyze whether these productions can be met with the existing stock I have, or will I have to make additional purchases for this. So let's say I'm into manufacturing of bicycles, and I click on the bicycle bar over here for finished goods that are planned. And I can see the dashboard has changed to filter it out and show only for bicycle level information. I can have a look at the BOM level data over here on the bottom left side, wherein I can see what are the items that are required to make 76 bicycles. I have the BOM quantities, the quantity that is yet to be issued, and the current quantity that I have in my stock. Out of this, we could compare and see how much of it is yet to be, or how much of it is not there in the stock. For example, the spike for LS100, we have 148 quantity in BOM. However, the current quantity stock is only 78. So this means that I have a shortage in inventory. So this bar graphs allow me to know if I'm planning the production, I'll have to make sure that these shortages are first met, and then I can start with my productions. So overall, it gives me an idea of what is utilized, how is the information available over here. For example, I can also have a view of what are the different utilizations that I have in terms of assembly, in terms of packaging, the painting department, machine department. Out of the 100% utilization, how much is just utilized currently? In order to know how much I can expand my productions, or whether if not, I can reduce the capacity so as to reduce my costs. So all in all, these are different dashboards under various modules that we have prepared. These are based on the actual data that is extracted from the ERP. When I say actual data, I mean the data set is the ERP, but data could be dummy data sets. But what we are understanding over here is these dashboards can be used as a fundamental level information. So from our experience with implementations and from our experiences with the analytical and technical skills, we have developed these dashboards as a fundamental level reports that any business can start with. These reports are built on Infor-LN and Microsoft set of ERPs, and as a result, you have easy to use and across different level of business modules. You can view your data in an analytical view. When we are talking about these dashboards, the benefit that we arrive at is these can be deployed into any existing ERPs that you are using, for example, like Infor-LN or Microsoft set of ERPs, and the efforts or the time taken will be very low. While most of the businesses are moving towards digital transformations, companies spend a huge amount of time and money to get such kind of dashboards ready for themselves. So these foundation level dashboards will save the time and efforts for the business and help them get started with BI. As a solution offering, this users can use these dashboards and they can understand how BI works and mature out of it. And from this, we can understand further requirements or further understandings that business specific users can maybe needing it. So we said that there are a lot of business questions that are to be answered. So to answer these are the as you saw before also in the presentation. These are the set of KPIs or the reports that we just showed you. So these help you to answer those business fundamental questions. Ajay, you would like to add anything to this?
Yeah, Ujjwal. I mean, thanks for the entire presentation, what you had shown, the capability and the power of Power BI, the way we can do the slicing and dicing of the entire business requirements, the way we need to have it. And the important fact, as you rightly mentioned about over here, is the pre-built analytics, which is the important thing for us, wherein a lot of pre-built analytics, pre-built dashboards, the ready Reconovers are ready with us for the ERPs like Infor-LN and Microsoft. Important thing from the fact, like based on our business understanding, based on business audits, what we have or what we do with all of our customers, basically the important thing is the visualization of the particular data. We know we want this particular report in so and so format, but what are the 360-degree view of that particular report? That is what we are going to bring to our customers. So important point is the visualization of the data. That is what we are going to serve to all our customers. Yeah, Ujjwal. Yes, Ujjwal.
Yeah, thank you, Ajay. So as to summarize, the offering that we have is the set of these dashboards along with the ETL that is prepared, which can easily be deployed into these existing data sets that are there. We'll open the forum for now for the questions that you have posted in the forum over here. Okay, so Milind and Onkar will be taking over to answer the questions.
Thank you, Ujjwal, for this great presentation. We'll quickly summarize few of the questions that have been asked on the chat. So I see majority of these questions are relating to the customizations of the dashboards that Ujjwal has currently presented. So to answer all of your questions relating to it, this is, as Ujjwal said, this is some foundation level dashboards that we have developed. So what does that mean is this is just to start with you in the field of analytics. This is to give you an experience of analytics, and if anything more is required or anything has to be modified as per your business rule or your business, we can modify it, we can add it, whatever you say. So this is just to start with analytics. Okay, so I guess this was something that majority of the people were asking. The next question comes is whether this can be integrated with some ERPs. So currently this dashboard can be integrated with Microsoft ERPs, Info-LN ERPs. So there are some numerous amount of ERPs that we can directly connect it.
Yeah. Yes.
The next question comes over here is relating to the licensing part. So the product that Ujjwal now showed will be our own.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen for the licensing information.
Yes, thank you, Ujjwal. So
I'll quickly explain this, how it works. Okay, so in terms of licenses, we have Power BI Pro and Premium licenses. You can check out the pricing of these on powerbimicrosoft.com. Okay, and the basic differentiation between Pro and Premium is Pro is more focused towards small and medium-term businesses, and Premium is for large organizations. This is because of the number of users need to be very huge in Premium if you're willing to make that kind of investment. The basic benefit that is there with O365 E5 version is that if your organization is using the O365 E5 version, then the Pro license is embedded within that package. So there is no separate investment that will be required if you already have an O365. So that's one benefit for such users. Yeah, Milind, please carry on.
Okay, going ahead with some next set of questions. So regarding the pricing, as Ujjwal has already explained, so you need to procure the Power BI license for viewing these dashboards. So some of the users are trying to compare this Power BI tool with other BI tools. So how does this benefit as compared to the other BI tools? This Power BI tool is very simple to use. It's comparatively cost effective and has various lot of connectors that distinguish this tool with other BI solutions in the market. Okay, so the next question that comes here is relating to the data security. Yes, we can maintain the row level data security over here. For example, if there are some employees which belong to particular region, we can only show them the data which they belong to, the region to which they belong to. So yes, we can have this type of data security integrated with this tool.
I think a lot of questions are regarding the ETL as well. Milind, if you can elaborate on that.
Okay, so coming to the ETL part, so we are not directly connecting Power BI to any of the ERP databases. We are bringing in something called as mirroring or log shipping solutions as per the business need or business requirement. We can set the frequency of refreshes, and from that replicated database, we are connecting this and getting the data. So refreshing this dashboard is purely based on the need of the customer. We can set it to as low as 5 minutes, or even we can make it as real time if at all any business need comes. So
So the idea will be to avoid any impact on the transactional database and still achieve whatever the way the reporting that we want to achieve. From that perspective, yes, definitely it can be done. So we can use the latest techniques, like we can also use the always on features, or so it all depends from the installation to installation. But yes, the replication is recommended. It is not recommended to directly connect to the live database.
Yeah, and just to confirm, the entire ETL is developed on SQL, so it's not that we are using additional tools or anything. So already you have your database in SQL for ERP, most in most of the cases, and in this case we'll be using an SQL for ETL and Power BI for viewing our reports. So those are the two kinds of you can say subscriptions that would be needed to get started.
I believe there are some queries related to, like, if we can develop some additional reports for maybe production, planned versus actual, and so on. Yes, so just to again highlight the same point which Ujjwal mentioned. So this is something, a base that is being offered. So this is something, a pre-built content that as Godrej Infotech we are offering on the top of major like Info, LN, Microsoft ERPs to offer this product or to start this journey with minimal onboarding time. Definitely there could be more scenarios, more needs which can be definitely addressed, but the idea is your onboarding time to this on this product will be reduced with all the pre-built KPIs in place.
There are few questions regarding refreshes as well, whether it is incremental or full refresh, and how does refresh work in this case. So Milind, can you take that?
yes, so as already mentioned, we are maintaining the ETL solutions. We are offering the ETL solutions with this package itself. So based on the customer requirement, we can specify the refresh frequencies. It may be even close to real time, or it may be as large as a day also. So it's everything, refreshing part is depend on the customer needs. So yes.
Yeah. So it supports incremental and full refresh as well. In terms of incremental, as you know, you'll have to define something to let the system know from which values you want to increment it. And in these cases, these dashboards can be refreshed with very low amount of frequencies, and they can be done on a very close to real-time basis. There is another question, Milind, which asks about whether we can connect to Oracle database. Does Power BI support Oracle?
Yes,
Yeah,
Power
please.
BI as a connector Yes, Power BI does support connecting to OLAP databases, but as Ujjwal has already mentioned, that all the ETL solutions and our data warehousing solutions have been built on SQL Server. So any modification required, yes, we can do it. Yes, we can use the Oracle database, and we can also develop on the Oracle database also.
How much data can Power BI handle? That's one question. So,
Okay,
actually, the Power BI,
yeah.
I'll answer this. Actually, the Power BI uses a tabular technology which comprises data in about 10 times or so, even more in cases. And when we are talking about reporting, we only make sure that in the ETL process we filter out all the unrequired data, and we only take that specific amount of data which is required to make our BI reporting tool. So in that case, we first initiate with the extraction to filter out all the unnecessary data. And then also Power BI itself has a capacity to shrink this data size because of its tabular technology. And you can, we have not seen any case wherein the data limit has reached also in any customer's environment. Yeah, Milind, if you want to add to it, you can do that.
Just to add to this, beyond certain limit, there is a limit after which we might have to go for Power BI Premium, which is a differently licensed product. So it's instead of Power BI Pro, it's a for large scale or large industries, we could be required to go for Power BI Premium. Milind, any more queries? There is one more question here. Can it be implemented offshore or the team needs to be on site? So, Ujjwal?
Yeah, so we have actually done, in the last couple of months, we have done 2-3 implementations which were completely offsite, and we have implemented these same dashboards and even additional reports that the customer needed. And in such in the situation that we are currently facing, everyone wants to have a look at their data on a real-time basis or with an easy access to it. So we have made sure that such implementations can happen offsite as well. Yeah. So Milind, are there any other questions that you could collate?
I guess these are majority of the questions that users have asked. I guess for any more specific detail relating questions, users can directly get in touch with us about the backend architecture or any other thing that they require in specific to understand. So Ujjwal, can you just show? Yeah, thank you. So you can directly contact us on this email ID for any more detailed understanding of the product and pricing of any product. We can surely guide you on this.
So in case we were not able to answer any of your questions, we missed out anything, you can email us on infotech@godrej.com, wherein you can write us down your queries, or in case you need any specific demo of this product or any other specific questions that you need to be answered, we can have it separately taken up. Thank you all for attending today and investing your precious time. Hope to be hearing from you more, and we'll be happy to respond to any of the queries that you have. Thank you so much.